On September 8, 1900, one of the deadliest hurricanes in U.S. history struck Galveston, Texas, claiming more than 6,000 lives. The destruction was so vast that accurate casualty counts were impossible. Some estimates suggest as many as 12,000 people may have died, making it the deadliest natural disaster in American history. Galveston Island, a narrow strip of land about 28 miles long and just 2 miles wide, sits barely above sea level off the Texas coast. At the turn of the 20th century, it was a thriving port city with strong rail connections, serving as a key hub for Gulf Coast trade and home to thousands of residents. The first signs of the approaching storm appeared on Friday afternoon. Having swept across the Gulf of Mexico from the Florida Keys, the hurricane was bearing down on Texas. With no reliable warning system, ships didn't begin sending radio reports about storms until 1908. Residents had little time to prepare. The storm made landfall on Saturday, September 8th, packing sustained winds of at least 115 miles per hour, though the town's wind gauge was destroyed before it could record the peak. A powerful Category 4 hurricane, it drove a massive storm surge that covered nearly the entire island by mid-afternoon. Waves rose up to 15 feet above the normal tide, and at Bolivar Point Lighthouse, salt spray reached an astonishing 115 feet into the air. Buildings collapsed under the combined force of wind and water. Slate roofs, installed after a devastating 1885 fire, became deadly projectiles as the hurricane ripped them from homes and hurled them through the air. The St. Mary's Orphanage was destroyed, killing everyone inside. At the Ursuline Convent, where 1,000 people had sought refuge, a collapsing retaining wall brought down much of the structure. Ships in the harbor were flung into one another some later found miles inland. Bodies floated in the floodwaters across the island and along the coast. Thousands perished in Galveston, and another 2,000 died on the nearby mainland. Many of the dead were never identified, their bodies cast into the Gulf of Mexico. When Red Cross founder Clara Barton arrived in Galveston soon after the storm, she remarked, "It would be difficult to exaggerate the awful scene here." Despite the devastation, Galveston began rebuilding almost immediately. On October 2, 1902, construction began on a massive seawall 16 feet thick, 17 feet high, and reinforced with cement, stone, and steel to protect the island from future storms. Completed 2 years later, the wall proved its worth. When another major hurricane struck in 1915, only 8 people died. By 1910, Galveston's population had rebounded to 36,000, a testament to the city's resilience and determination to endure.